Shall we play a game?
We got Star Wars Unlimited. We got classic Star Wars games. We got old school D&D, independent RPGs, mini painting, Warhammer, of course, tons of other games. But first, we're gonna need some coffee here on Board Barista Productions. Hey everybody, I'm your Board Barista Fen. This is Retro Review, a review show where we go through my copious amounts of RPG and tabletop gaming books, magazines, and other paraphernalia one at a time. And to keep me from rambling, we have Laura.
Hey everybody. So what's on the review tonight?
We have Codex Armageddon for, I believe this is Warhammer 40K 2nd edition, if not 3rd. But so much of 2nd and 3rd edition was like, it was backwards compatible, so you could use the stuff between the two editions. They just kind of like clarified it was like an editing process between some of the early editions. We were just cleaning up, making it look better, putting in some color photographs, and
Right.
so I don't know. Somebody can down in the comment section tell me whether or not this was 2nd or 3rd edition Warhammer 40K.
Okay. Where did this one come from?
This is the other book that I picked up from Blue Cypress. Yeah, they had some of these were like the two older books that stood out to me. There was some, I think they were the 7th or 8th edition rule books, but we're on to 10th edition, almost 9th edition coming out probably this summer.
Are they going backwards?
No, it was
You said 10th, almost 9th.
almost 11th edition coming out this summer. We're on the cusp of 10th, 11th, the end of 10th edition and 11th edition. We're starting to hear rumors and stuff like that of what's going to happen.
Right.
So, but this is like early 2000s. I think it was like 2001. So this is probably 3rd edition.
Okay. Do you want to give us a quick synopsis?
So this book, kind of like the Star Wars RPG had their splat books to cover different novels.
Mm-hmm.
This one is another one that's covering a certain part of the lore. It covers the third battle for Armageddon. Armageddon's a planet, very deserty, very harsh living conditions.
So Armageddon is not the end of the world?
No,
It's
Armageddon
its own
is
world.
it's its own world called Armageddon. It's situated in a certain spot of space where the demon-possessed Space Marines and the fascist good Space Marines and the Orcs, like those three factions, are always fighting over.
Okay, you don't often hear like good and fascist in the same.
It's Warhammer 40K.
Right.
The good guys are fascist.
That's a little scary.
It's Warhammer 40K. The only good people are the Tau, which is the army that you have for Kill
I
Team.
like my cake.
The kitty army that you have because we put cat heads on them instead of Tau heads, so we call them the Meow. They're communist. And
I mean, communist isn't like innately evil.
yeah, but when your best faction out of the entire bunch are heavily inspired by Stalin's Russia, you kind of...
Okay, we're getting off track.
It's-
Let's go back to what's in here.
Alright, so this covers the books that covered the Third War for Armageddon.
Yeah.
Which, when I got into Warhammer 40K, one of the first things I got exposed to for the lore was the book Hell's Reach. Yeah, Armageddon, Hell's Reach. Which covers Chaplain Grimaldus, who is the head chaplain of the Black Templars faction, one of the armies I play. Him and his little his command squad, so it's like 6 Space Marines, got assigned to the one city of Hell's Reach, and they're the only Space Marines. They're there to basically defend the city from an invasion of orcs. And it's this really cool story. So,
Is this all taking place on Armageddon?
all taking place in the world of Armageddon.
Great.
There's a beautiful like animated movie on YouTube, fan-made movie. It's like almost 6 hours long and covers the whole book. It's beautiful to watch, beautiful to listen to. Definitely recommend it. And if you loved that story, then you wanted to recreate the battles from that story. This is the source book that you would need to have because it covers the specific type of orc faction that was there, the Speed Freaks. It covers the Armageddon Steel Legion, which is the army forces that are there on the planet defending the city. Covers the Black Templars, also covers the Salamander chapter, which was also featured in the book. They kind of show up to actually help out and reinforce the Black Templars during one of the big end battles. This came out before the Imperial Knights became a faction in the game. So there is an Imperial Knight in the book, but in the story, but there was none in the game at that point. So there's no rules for covering Imperial Knights. But
so they came later.
Yeah, they came later. But it gives you a breakdown of like the stats for each of those specific factions, the new models that were introduced to those factions. So you could actually, you would need the Space Marine Codex, the Orc Codex, and the Imperial Guard Codexes to be able to use with this book. But you could play these little, these had all the rules for the sub-faction. So, and it also has like the narrative campaign notes, some beautiful pictures on how to paint your armies to be able to match the aesthetics of the of those different factions. So how to paint the Black Templars, how to paint the Salamanders, how to paint the Armageddon.
Salamanders lizards?
No, they are green Space Marines who are they love things that go whoosh. So flamers, meltas, anything that produces a lot of heat and fire. Hence why they're called the Salamanders. The Black Templars, they see themselves as space knights, so they fight with axes and swords and do a lot more melee combat than shooty combat. They also love to charge up, so their vehicle is all designed on it charging up into the middle of the battlefield, and a bunch of Black Templars jump out and start running at the opponent.
With those flaming torches.
Well, they're blazing with their, chainsaw swords and battle axes and energy swords, but not really any lances.
Okay.
Some critiques of the book. Again, it's a book. It's not a video. It's going to show you the paint schemes. It's going to tell you what paints were used, but they're not going to give you the step-by-steps. This is how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
It is, again, only 32 pages. It is the splattiest of splat books. So it is very light. There's only, I think, probably... So the campaign notes end on page 9, and they start on page... What's the lore? 5. So there's only 4 pages of the actual campaign rules. Campaign rules is basically play 4 to 5 games, and depending on who wins, there's victory conditions and there's certain things that will happen. So the game progresses through each of the matches. The story progresses through each of the games.
Right.
I would really like to do some stuff that was more thematic based in 40K instead of focusing solely on the more competitive aspect like I did when I was playing 40K. I haven't had a chance to play 40K in a long time. Being a dad and having so much stuff going on the YouTube channels to stay on top of and work, it does not leave you a lot of time to get in all the games that you want to get in. So, and with playtesting Flip and working on Flip, 40K has kind of gone to the wayside, but I have a feeling that this summer / fall, 40K is definitely going to ramp up a bit in my life, and also here on the channel. But more on that later in a later video.
Okay. So you planning to keep this one?
I'm planning to keep this one. Even though the stats and everything are old and outdated, just having the ideas of like, well, if I'm playing this type of army, they only have access to these kind of units. They're going to be painted like this. I am planning on putting together an Imperial Guard army. Once this fall hits, I'm going to start working on that. So I do think it's going to be the Armageddon Steel Legion is what I'm going to put together for an army. So.
Okay. That's all I got.
That's all I got. What was your favorite Warhammer 40K novel? What got you into the lore of 40K? Leave that in the comments section down below, and peace.
Okay, bye everybody. Thanks for joining. Hey everybody, thanks for staying till the end of the episode. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on Facebook at Board Barista Productions. And if you want to support us, Patreon link at the bottom.